the ego is not bad. It's not a good or bad situation. But the super ego should be able to direct us.
Correct.
And also as a result, we should have the behavior that's acceptable in our society or in our circles.
Yes.
Also what I'm hearing that you didn't say, but that you may agree with, is that in order to balance the ego and super ego, parenting and mentoring is important.
Extremely, extremely important, because the super ego is developed through mentoring and through parenting and through religious teachings or moral teachings that you would have. And in my opinion, that's where the disconnect is coming with those shootings. When you can go into a church and shoot, because you're not using a moral resolution to, I disagree with you on this principle. So rather than sit down and have discourse about it, you just pull out an automatic rifle and just kill people. So, there should be in place where we have to begin and go back and take a look at what was the training, what was the moral beliefs of this individual or their mentors. How do you, even if you're promoting your career, do you just throw a tantrum because you're not first bill?
Right.
Or
right.
or how do you negotiate with a producer to restructure or get a new contract or whatever the case may be?
Absolutely.
So we can't just, as Nick Cannon would say, wow out.
What you know about? And I know we have to go, but what happens when there is a super ego that is in place? You have mentors, you have people who are there pouring into your life, and then you still go the opposite way. What happens there? Like what is that? Like a unsuper ego?
No, we can have fractures, and that's when you start to go over into whether it's mental illness, stressors, life stressors can cause us to fracture from reality. And when we say fracture, you can have episodes of acting out or uncharacteristic behavior. Stress is I don't think we really realize the power that stress has. Much of that is self-imposed. I have to be this, I have to be that, I have to drive this and wear that. And no one's expecting that of you. That's an expectation we put upon ourselves oftentimes. Even the college student, well, I gotta finish in 4 years. 4.5 is too. I can't do it in 5. Well, that's a self-imposed. So if it takes you 5, take 5 and get your degree and move on. Nobody's gonna care. But oftentimes we do that. We have those self-imposed, and then we become stressed out, go into depressions and those things. So much of that is self-imposed, because when you have a mentor, and then maybe isolation from those mentors, sometimes we withdraw, and you're not going to people when you're going through things. I'm just going to hold it in, or just pray about it. You don't need to talk to anybody. Well, sometimes we do need to talk to somebody. We can talk to Jesus about it.
What was it that you said? What was it that you said when you were here before? You said prayer and counseling.
Correct.
Prayer and counseling.
The holistic approach, and
you're gonna pray,
many ministries are
after
headed
you
that
leave
way.
the altar. I remember that conversation.
Exactly, and we have Pastor Jay Reed here with us. One of the things that started with the ministry at New Beginnings is the domestic violence monthly meeting. And for people, not just women, but men also who are victims of domestic violence, can come in and share their stories and talk about and find resources to get out of those situations. So yes, you're praying about it and you're praying for the healing, but sometimes you have bruises and broken bones and things from those situations that you have to get attention for, and then the mental scarring that you have, or children growing up in an abusive home. So sometimes you need to talk with someone. So that's what we're promoting. I'm promoting, talking about with the book of a holistic approach to us, because God wants us to be whole.
He does.
And have that abundant life, and we can't have an abundant life if we're broken mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
So looking at the book, looking more closely at what is our ego, what is our superego, what is the id. Parents who are rearing kids, you have small kids, and the importance of making sure they have that wholesome life and that you're nurturing them in those formative years, because it plays out later. And although there's retooling when we get older, and someone who's been racist for 50 years can all of a sudden change their ways, but oftentimes it's not the case unless there's some type of scenario or situation that happens that forces the person to do it.
Wow.
But we have to then look at that and what's happening with our teenagers who didn't get that nurturing, and now they're 15, 16 years old and in the French quarters and sucker punching tourists and robbing them. It's like, so where did that that breakdown happen with that, with the rearing and the development of that superego?